seen the brake switch lights on, but no lights. Why is that? Alright, so what up? So we got a CY Lancer here. Customer complaint is that the vehicle refuses to accelerate at times, especially when it's cold, and when it get warm, then it drives after a while. They replaced the throttle body, they replaced the pedal sensor, and like they just got fed up of this, right? So they scanned for codes, they didn't get any codes. When I got the vehicle, it didn't have no check light on, but I took it for a drive and the check light came on, right? So let's scan this car and see what we get. Hold on real quick. Alright, so we're gonna scan. We're gonna do a full scan. Right, so MPI means well, that's multi-port injection, and the ABS have a code, right? But I'm hearing some noise coming from by the selector. If you listen carefully. So I'm not sure what that is, right? But they said it was worse. They was hearing it like banging here, and as the noise started to get like ridiculous, so they took the ECU to someone to see if they could check it out, but apparently like the guy ended up like taking out the catalyst and whatever happens. Long story, right? So they brought it to my shop to see if I could diagnose it for them. So what I'm gonna do is just scan for the code. Well, as I mentioned, they removed the catalyst, so you will get that P0421 code, but they also have a P0301 code. As I said, that wasn't there yesterday, but I noticed that the light came on when I was driving. So I'm not sure what happened there, right? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go on the ABS. It's saying the brake switch is stuck, which they know, right? But look what happened here. I'm going to go on read data, right? I'm going to put on the input. Right, so I'm in park right now, right? The vehicle's idling. Watch the brake switch. Come on. You see, look at, you see how it's glitching, and I'm still in park. I'm not even doing anything. My feet is not even on the brake, and you're seeing the brake switch like glitching on its own. So for some reason, the brake switch is getting command to turn on and off, and they don't know why. So it's my job to figure out why. Right? They said they replaced the brake switch. It was actually something real loud coming from here. Alright, so we're gonna take the vehicle off. Right, so let's take this vehicle for a drive and see if I can make the problem reappear again. Right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna record, put this to record, but I'm gonna put on the vehicle read speed, and I'm gonna probably put on the front end. Right, so let's graph this. Right, if you notice, you're seeing the switch going on and off. We're gonna record this. So I'm stepping all the way down on the X. As you can see, right now it's on, the brake switch is on, and my foot is all the way down to the pedal, right? Now I'm accelerating, it's off. So is it a faulty brake switch, or is it a faulty command to the brake switch that's holding back the vehicle? Alright, so I'm on a straight stretch here. I'm gonna go on. Right now you see the brake switch is on, my feet is all the way down. And now it goes on, comes off. So right now the brake switch is on, right, because I'm stepping on the brake. Right, check light is on. I'm gonna take my foot off the brake, and it's supposed to come off. Right now my foot is off the brake, but it's still saying that it's on. So is it a faulty command to the brake switch, or is it the brake switch? Now it come off. You see that it's glitching. My feet is still off, but look at the brake switch. Look at the command to the brake switch. Right now it's off. Let's put this back on. Alright, so I'm gonna step on the X again, and right now the brake switch is on, and I'm driving. Now I'm stepping on the brake switch. So this is me turning around. Alright, sorry for the full camera setup. Alright, so I'm not even stepping on the brake switch right now, and it's saying that it's on. Now it'll come off. So is it a faulty brake switch, or is it a faulty command to the brake switch from the ABS? I'm not sure, but you see the brake switch command is glitching in and out, and I'm not even stepping on the brake right now. Right now the car is just in drive. My foot is off, and you're actually seeing the brake switch glitching in and out on its own. My foot is off the brake, but it's saying that it's on. So is it that we have a faulty brake switch input? Something is up with this. Now it's off. I'm stepping on the gas, and the brake switch is saying that's on. So these are the switch that the customer replaced. We replaced it a few times, so I'm not sure if it's I doubt it's a switch. right? It has to be some command that's going to the switch that's faulty, that's causing the brake switch to be in and out like that, and the brake light ain't even coming on. So let me have somebody press the brake and see if it make a difference. Right, so I got somebody stepping on the brake. Step on it, please, and let's see if the brake light comes on. All right, brake light's on. Brake light is on. Take your foot off. Brake light is off. All right, but the brake light is off. I'll check the command. The command is still saying on. Let's bring it close and see. Brake light off, and the command is still on. And the brake switch. Look, so it's on and the light is off. So you gotta go after the command. Right, so if you look real carefully down in that hole, you'll see some like and right now the brake is not even pressing. Alright, so we got the scope hooked up to this unit here, and you see now it's getting command. Let's put some more time on the screen. Which is basically identical to what I'm getting here. As I said, the vehicle is not, it's off, key on. I'm getting command here. So I'm going to check the brake switch to see if I'm getting command also like this. It's not a faulty unit because I'm getting it also on the brake switch. So I believe this really have to be, I gotta pull up a wiring diagram to see what this is. Right, according to this wiring diagram, you're seeing when the ignition on, like it is now, right? This is called a shift lock solenoid, the one that's playing up, right? So I got my scope hooked up to it. You're seeing that it is activating, key is on. So according to the diagram, right, this is getting control from the ETAX ECU, which basically like it acts like the BCM. This control the lights, the hood light, the door switch, things like that, right? So if you look here, this relay is inside of the ETAX ECU, right? And it also have a 7.5 amp fuse. So I'm not sure if it's this look like this is internal, and it also has a link to the stop light switch. So we're gonna go back to the, go directly on the switch. So you see those two pink wires on the brake switch pedal, right? So let me just test this real quick. Right now I'm hooked on ground. I got this light real quick. Right, so on the brake switch there are 4 wires going to the brake switch, but only, I believe it's 2 that's there's only 2 that's working. Right, so the black with the red stripe, that's the one coming from the fuse, right, which is a 15 amp fuse. And the 2 wires is 2 pink wires, one going to back to the e-tax, the next one is going to the brake light, right? So I'm gonna measure, and let's set it up. Can't really work here because they got some contraption here where I can't really move this cover, so I gotta work right here. Alright, so let me just set up my multimeter real quick. Alright, so I'm gonna just dim this light so you can see what's going on. Yeah, sorry about that, the neighbors is making some noise. So right now I'm piggyback off I'm back pin into the switch on the 2 pink wires, and I'm gonna measure the voltage. So I'm right now I'm getting, hold on, snap, on ground came off. Right, so I'm back probe into the 2 pink wires. I'm getting 1.2 volts. Right, so something is seeping voltage into the side of the switch when it's not supposed to, right? So I'm getting 1.24 volts, right? So what I'm going to do next is I gotta figure out if it's coming from the e-tax side or it's coming from the brake side, right? So what I'm gonna do is back probe, remove, see if I can disengage or isolate these wires right here, these pink wires, right? To see what side of the which pink wire is feeding voltage. Is it coming from the e-tax, or if it coming from the harness, or is it coming from the brake side? Based on the wiring diagram that I got here, right, let's check it out. Alright, so when I unplug this connector right here, which is C1000, right, my voltage spikes to 2.5 volts, right?